Hello, this is my intro. My name is Melanie Watkins. I'd like to welcome you to Michigan Tech and the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. A little bit about me. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering from Michigan Tech. And then I went to Chicago, worked at the Illinois Department of Transportation, where I did road, water resources, and environmental mitigation projects. Then along the way, I got my master's in project management at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. And I also then worked for Christopher Burke Engineering, doing more water resources projects and transportation, phase one environmental mitigation projects. And I also worked for M3 Engineering in St. Louis, doing high-level water resources projects. And then I came back to Michigan Tech, where I worked on my PhD, and that's where I stayed. I'm currently working now. And some classes that I teach, there's quite a few that I have taught. Senior design is one of them. Taught water resources courses and also statics. Just wanted to let you know and talk a little bit about senior design. We've had some cool projects in the past, so if you're looking forward to senior design, hopefully this will make you even look forward to it more. Some projects we've done are MDOT US 41 College Avenue. We did the road design, stormwater treatment, stormwater management, traffic analysis, and staging. You can see a plan here that the students looked at the new cross section that they're going to be building and did some other things like retaining walls also along the way. And you can see here they did their traffic analysis and detour for the downtown section that will be under construction. Also, another project that we did that was pretty cool was a parking lot for Michigan Tech up on 7th Avenue, Clark Street. The students designed a retaining wall and also did the wetland mitigation and detention. You can see the water collection systems that they designed, the detention tank, also a stormwater filter, so to trap the sediments and filter out the first flush, which are contaminants, before the water goes out into the storm system for the outlet into the portage. Another cool project we did was I-69 Lansing Reconstruction. That consisted of all the environmental wetlands, looking at culverts, soil erosion control for the reconstruction project. And the reconstruction project entailed looking at 5 bridges, designing some of them that needed to be designed, road design, and traffic and safety engineering. And you can see here one of the culverts in the wetland they looked at to see if the size was adequate for the new road. And then also here's one of the bridges. This looks like one of the newer ones, but they ended up, I think, redesigning 5 bridges, or 3 bridges out of the 5 that they looked at. Another cool project that we did was Northeast Boundary Tunnel in Washington, D.C. for the Washington, D.C. Water Authority. Students designed the drop shaft, which consisted of some tunneling and also did the environmental wetland mitigation and also stormwater runoff for the site. And you can see the boring machine here. So projects are pretty cool. We have some good ones coming up. And if you want to see more about senior design, you can take a look here, ce.mtu.edu, senior design, and you can see some of the student presentations from spring 2020. All right, some other classes you could say my specialty is water resources. Have around 10 years experience in transportation and water resources. As I mentioned previously, this semester I'll be teaching CE 4620, River and Floodplain Hydraulics, where we look at sizing waterway openings for bridges. We look at erosion control, and this is riprap. This is what the technical term is, but it's rocks to slow down the water and prevent erosion. And then we look at also sizing culverts, and you can see this one is got a gravel bottom, and that one is primarily for fish and aquatic organism passage. So, and then we'll have a new class where it's water resources modeling and design, and we do a lot of other things like flood prevention, and this is actually flood inundation mapping, looking at flood prevention, ways to best mitigate it. And some techniques how we do that is get LiDAR data from drones, so we can map the whole floodplain and run a waterway model through it and see how far and what is exactly inundated. If there were houses here, you would probably see some of them covered up with water, depending on the year storm you run through it. And then here's a culvert that we would maybe look at in river and floodplain hydraulics. Another really cool class that I got to take part in 2017 was International Senior Design in Panama. Dave Watkins and I were advisors this go around. This was 2017. One of my favorite pieces of infrastructure is the Panama Canal. And we look at some of the hydraulics for sluice gates in CE 4620. So that's kind of cool. Brings it to real life. This is the old canal or the existing canal, and they did build a new canal. They were starting on it when we were down there, but I think it's completed, and it is up here on this other piece of land. And then here's some students, and we did water projects, water supply projects, and some pump projects. And this was on our way out of the rainforest, the Camargo rainforest. And you can see the students had a good time. We all really did. It was pretty fun. All right, so that ends my formal part of the intro. I will be showing some construction videos and also some other things that I like to do. Take my dogs out in the summer and the winter. And so hopefully you enjoy the last part. Cool, here comes we got the pump truck here. Found out about it today that MJO is pouring the footing on that would be the north side of the Pilgrim River Bridge. We were at the other side the other day without the forms there, so you can see that. It's pretty cool. So the concrete truck just pulled up to the pump truck, and it looks like he's dumping his concrete into the boom, or into the truck for the boom. Cool. Okay, now it looks like maybe some action. So there we go. Got the concrete coming out, and the guys are starting to move around. And off to the right there, you can see the bladder that we saw the other day. That was filtering the water pumped out from the excavation. Right, there goes the concrete. Cool, it's filling it up. So you can see the other concrete truck leaving because they try to pour these things as fast as they can so they don't get a cold joint. And what that is a hard set on the concrete, so that makes 2 layers, so they don't want that. So you can see there, they're pouring the concrete. And you can see over here, you can see the rebar. They got it all formed up and reinforcing steel there in a kind of lattice work connection, and they fill now the concrete pump truck. Pretty cool. So I just noticed something pretty cool. So the guy down here in the orange is moving the boom with remote control. You can see him there working it, and then they're pumping
pumping into this other side here, but he moved the boom up there with the remote control, so that's pretty darn cool. Okay, now they got it in there, and you'll see the guy off to the left, he's using a vibrator, and that makes sure that the footing concrete is uniform. I keep saying footing, but it's actually the bridge abutment, and I found out it's going to be actually an arch culvert that's going to sit on both sides of these abutments that they're pouring. So again, you can see the guy with the vibrator making sure the concrete in the forms is uniform, because actually when you pour concrete from these pump trucks, you lose water, and therefore that means you gain slump. So making sure there's no what do you want to call it, air voids in the concrete there with that vibrator. Getting ready to think about replacing it, getting the estimate. You can see the dents inside. Didn't overtop the road here at the Father's Day flood, but when the Father's Day flood happened, it overtopped at a bend in the road a little bit upstream. So you can see, I think this is kind of full, but bank full, but not, again, overtopped. Woo, north. Woo, there she comes. May 1 ski. Woo, good girl, North. Good girls. Ready? I'll ski this one. Ready? Let's go. Ready? Let's go. Woo. Yep, this is what I do in the summer. I go jogging with my dogs in the mornings. Okay, coming to a tricky spot. No problem for the dogs, but the lake levels are up. So gotta be careful not to step in the water when I did. Woo, a little wet. Yeah.